We are live, and I'm using the company computer, and the camera and the lighting is a little off. I'm in a pub. I'm in Hopkins Fine Dining Parlor is what it's called. Anybody watching yet, or am I talking to myself? I might be talking to myself. Close that. Open here. I don't know if anyone can hear me. Close that. Shut that off. Ooh, they have another beautiful day in Moose Jaw. Tela Esta. Just saw you in there with Whiskey Neighbor. Guess he's heading off to get some cake. So I got to pop up this chat. I'm using the company computer, so the camera is not the best, hopefully. But you know what? I'm going to have a beer. I'm drinking some organic beer called Mills Street. And I think they're bringing me something to eat. And I think I just saw the chef. 23rd anniversary. Here comes the Hot Shot Chef. Sitting here doing a live right now, John.
Oh, great. How's it going?
Good. John is the fine chef of Hopkins
Dining Parlor and Curiosity Shop.
Dining Parlor and Curiosity Shop. Trust me, that guy's curious. One of the guys was on live, and I said, I'll come in, I'll grab a beer, and you're making me something to eat.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So better be good.
Well, it's one of my colleagues. So
Oh, okay.
I'm in the back as well. I do a lot of prep, make sure that everything works.
Yeah, that's good. Sorry we couldn't work it out yesterday, but you're short-staffed. You better get that phone. You betcha. Anyway, guys, this is kind of a neat hotel. They've got guests upstairs and whatnot. It is very unique place. I think it's been running as a restaurant since 1979. It's haunted. They have a video on there about haunting, and John would like me to come and do a live video in here. I was going to yesterday, but it just didn't work out. Wasn't that great. George, how you doing? You survived the World Whiskey Day, and you know what? Go Habs. That is awesome. 23rd anniversary dinner with the wife. That is a excellent thing to hear, because most people nowadays, they get married and they get divorced, or their answer is, oh, if it doesn't work out, I can just get a divorce. They don't make that commitment. So cheers to you, my friend. Congratulations. Give your wife a big hug for all of us. Yeah, it was a long day, eh? Tall Esta. I think I'm saying that right now. I feel like Bart when it comes to announcing words. It makes funny. Why can't everybody have an easy name like George Kaplan? It's easy, right? You know, or Whiskey Throttle. Either one works. Anyway, we'll sit here and enjoy. Johnny boy's busy. You got 15 people coming for dinner upstairs.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. She's just gonna have to hustle it.
Good. That's it. So I'm gonna relax and
enjoy.
You're gonna make me beer, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna shower because I got this itchy dust all over me from watching people work.
No, managing people work. Right?
No, I don't get to manage them. I can't tell them anything. I just record it when they do it wrong. All right, we'll talk later. But anyway, so yeah, that I wish Whiskey Neighbor was here, because he brought up a couple things that were said last night and on two different YouTube channels. And it's not because I'm Canadian, but it's the approach about how they didn't like a certain whiskey. It is Canadian whiskey. I do not consider it to be a good whiskey. I don't consider it to be a bad whiskey either. But I did not like their remarks. I thought they were very rude. And I would have no problem saying that to their face. I really do. I don't think it was very appropriate the way they reacted. I think it was very well, I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, A friend of mine, Mike passed away. He was quite a bit older than I was. I used to work with him and his father when I was a kid. The father owned a little farm, and they had a big greenhouses. And every year we were working at the farmer's market, and I'd be carrying big wooden crates the guy made. I used to have freaking really strong fingers because he didn't put handles on the crates, and you had to carry them like a claw. Not that strong, just something I want to say. And it's not even the corn whiskey. It's just the way they reacted about it. It's just silly. And I'll get onto that in a minute. Mike restored a beautiful 1966 Thunderbird. I was just a kid. I was like 15 years old maybe, and I loved hanging out. We used to go to the car lots, like I'm 1 second, Snarson, and we'll get to that. There was two different people on two different whiskeys, both Canadian, that they were just, I don't care if you like it or not, but don't be ignorant. Just don't be ignorant the way you responded. It was terrible. Very dramatic, one of them, and just terrible. And I have no problem saying that. Anyway, I used to go to pick your part stuff and whatnot, and Mike was restoring this 1966 Thunderbird. Mike would always make me guess. He'd say, "What do you think that part's off of when that part's off of?" Way back then, I could look at a car and see just a part of it and know what it was. Not so much nowadays, but I had fun. It was great. Oh, Santa Cruzan, thanks for coming in. I'm on a little bit of a rant about something yesterday. I enjoyed World Whiskey Day. But anyway, Mike, we'd go to show and shine, car shows, right? He restored a 1966 Thunderbird. He ended up buying two of them. He bought one, we started working on it, and then he found another one that was in better shape. And I was more than willing. I climbed underneath that car with a chisel breaking off old pieces of rust and tar and whatever there was. And when you got that thing done, it was beautiful. So one of them, once you get in that car and the steering wheel, it wasn't telescopic. It actually slid to the center to get out, right? It was beautiful. Done all up. It had the gauge when you accelerated that just went across the dash that had like a spinning piece of plastic that looked like water filling up. Beautiful, beautiful Thunderbird. We're at a car show, and there's a guy that's not in a Ford, not in a Thunderbird or a Ford, right? My brother-in-law at the time and Mike were all Ford guys, right? I'm not a Ford guy per se anymore. I'm not anything anymore. But I went over. There was some guy, Dodge guy. I'm like, oh, what's a Dodge? What something? You know, I was a snotty 15-year-old kid. But Mike pulled me aside. He says, it doesn't matter what that vehicle was. You don't disrespect the man that did all that hard work and put in a lot of time to make that vehicle what it is today. Beautiful vehicle, well made, it was solid. You know, he probably put in many hours of his life to make that vehicle what it was, so he had a lot of pride in it, right? When you're disrespectful about something in that way, that's kind of something that pops into my head. And when these people brought up things I didn't like, I found it very rude myself. So one of them is about the Crown Royal Sour Bourbon Mash. And it's getting a bad rep. Somebody on Instagram, and he might be here in the chats, I always get the names backwards. He says, it's not a bad whiskey. It's not a great whiskey. And what's nailing it is if they put that same whiskey back out again, exact same whiskey, and don't call it Bourbon Mash, it will get a totally different review. Everybody is opening it up and expecting it to be a bourbon, and it is not a bourbon, right? There needs to be a clear understanding of why they're calling it a bourbon mash, right? Anyway, I didn't like the way that a couple people dealt with that, and I didn't like the way somebody dealt with another whiskey, and they've done that twice now with the same brand of whiskey, and they just show their ignorance. And I'm sorry to be ranting about that, but I'll say it to their face anytime they want. But, you know, give your head a shake. Use your head for more than a hat rack. If they watch and see this, I hope that's what they hear. It pisses me off. Thank you for letting me go on here, guys. Right? I'm with you, Whiskey Girl, and I'm not even a Canadian. I'm wondering why they're so subscribed. I told someone it must be bought. You know what, buddy? That might be the truth, right? They do a good job. They are following a certain people that are video influencers are doing a good job. But it was disrespectful. And to call yourself what you call yourself, and then to be that ignorant is just not nice. Not at all, man. Say it to your face if you want me to. You're just a young ass punk kid. Done. I'm done with that part. I saw your little view. Your nephew looked like he was loving it down there, Santa Cruz. And that was one sweet little vehicle he got into. Hey, go Habs, you give your wife a hug, and congratulations again. 23 years is a good milestone. Wait till you reach 25. Right? Snobbery. Yeah. Push a Chevy, then drive a Ford. That's okay, buddy. Everybody pushes something somewhere sooner or later, right? Check those boys. Yeah, there are. I'm just sorry, guys. I just needed to say something. And we got a nice little community here. And when you get into certain communities, everybody takes care of their own, right? You don't have this stuff going on with people ranting and raving about garbage. Thank you very much. That looks good. Thanks. I got me some dry ribs. They're locally made here. They're not out of a bag, not frozen. I think I'll be doing some more of this stuff here right in the restaurant. They are hot. Ready for a first bite? Wow. Wow. That's not like chewing on other stuff. There's like a tender pork chop that's been sliced up. Wow. What are we saying here? Sneerson, can you say who? No worries. If not, I'll find. You know who it was. There's two of them. Two different people did it. One was not part of our live stream. One was. Alligator bites. I've tried alligator. Wow. I hate talking on my mouth full, boy. It's good stuff. I'm pissed off about, it's okay to have your opinion. Two different people yesterday that just slammed whiskeys that I don't really think are that good. Of course, they're both Canadian. And I really kind of think it was just a little bit out of line. The way you did it, and a little dramatic. One of them was way too dramatic. One of them is for the Crown Royal Bourbon mash, which I agree. It is nothing like bourbon, and that's what's getting it slammed. I bet you when they come back out and it's not called bourbon mash, it'll get different respect. It's not good. It's a good mixer. I didn't mind it, actually. I bought a bottle just because of the controversy. Cheers, guys. I had to check Quig about Bernard and the troll drama. Yes. I didn't watch that later. Did it get a little out of hand later on, Richard? I tried to have a conversation with both those guys at the same time. One, because the concern, and everybody that's in here right now is kind of friends, even though we've never met. Ben Arlego's a good kid. All right. I mean, just look, if you look at his videos and stuff, his room is clean and neat. I mean, he's 15 years old. And we have a concern. Of course, we have an underage person, and we need to take care of that, right? And Food Quig and I did have a conversation with him. So we're trying to deal with some stuff. But in the long run, we want to do what's right. And we want to protect ourselves as adults. The kid loves Legos. I mean, he was probably 9 years old when he first started doing YouTube. He knows more about it than I do. Anyway, I agree. Everybody keeps mentioning that, Richard. And there's really not a lot you can do about it, but He is a good kid, and Food Quig is too. I think Food Quig wears his heart on his sleeve, man. But there needs to be a balance. That's all. I have an idea here. It's kind of a good idea because we can enjoy our whiskeys and our alcohol. But a lot of people have children, and they're home with their children. They still have a beer. They still have a whiskey, right? Do you act differently when your children are around? Or do you show them that this is, something that we do? I'm going to have a beer with dinner. I'm not going to have 6 beers with dinner. I'm going to have a beer with dinner at the restaurant and then drive home. We have that common sense. And I think we can apply that with it too, right? I went to bed early, thank goodness. Still only got a few hours sleep. Might account for my less than classy remark on the last stream. I don't remember the last remark, if it was unclassy or not. Anyway, guys, yes, I'm still in Moose Jaw. I'm in the Hopkins.
How are the ribs there?
They're the best ribs I've had all day. Thank you, Dave. They are the best ribs I've actually had, period. I'm amazed. Dry ribs are good. Come on. Anyway, these are good. They are. Yesterday was a fun day, and I really enjoyed having my guest on. Well, I'm off tomorrow. We're here kind of on call. This is pre-shutdown. And then next month is a full shutdown of this plant. We have like 28 days to finish this furnace, which is it's going to be something else. It is. The people in Moose Jaw are very friendly. Moose Jaw itself is kind of beat up, right? I mean, the streets are terrible. But it is called a friendly city, and it really lives up to it. Unlike last year, I was in Manitoba, in Brampton, and it's supposed to be friendly. It wasn't friendly. I didn't like the people there. I don't know what they had a little bit. Not all the people. There are people you're going to meet. It's like Canada and the U.S., right? I mean, we're all mixed together. I don't see anybody from the UK and whatnot. But, we joke back and forth. I mean, it's just like I live in Edmonton, Alberta, so I'm better than somebody that lives in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. We joke that way, but it's just back to the theme that I started ranting on. Is there's a way to do it with respect, right? So I could be here. I'm going to be here for at least 4 weeks. Yes. I'm probably going home next week for 4 or 5 days, and then come back for the big part of the job. Yummy. Some lemony zest on this. I hope this ain't making you guys hungry. I hope they let me do a live in here, and so I can walk around to each room. I think there's 3 stories here. You go upstairs and they've got a little hallway. You walk into it and there's a great big room. All the tables are covered in white tablecloths. It's all fancy. And then here, it's just like a little pub. Just a little pub. Then they got a nice outdoor patio I was going to sit on, but I think they're short-staffed today. Can't cover all the levels. The tourist season hasn't quite started yet. So they're interested in what I do for work, or what are they interested in, John? Salad. Quaint. That's a nice word, quaint. It's a quaint whiskey. Oh. What I'm doing right now, I work in it's a shutdown for a fertilizer plant. So they have big furnaces there, and we work inside them. We line the inside of them with refractory. Okay, yeah. So somebody, was it you, Richard, that was talking about cognac on Whiskey Neighbors channel? when he was doing his little test live. I just made some soup a little different this time, but it hits the spot. I tell you something. I got into some soups, well, especially with Julia. I'm not a vegetarian. Julie's a vegetarian. She's not that kind of vegetarian, you know. But yeah, she makes soups, or I buy lots of pre-made soups. There's some really good ones out there. So I like a soup. And in this warm temperature coming up, I want to look up a soup. It's called gazpacho, and it's a cold soup. It's good. But it's cold. Nice, cool soup on a day like this. It's great, actually. A little spice in it. Just to mix it up. Yeah, well, you made me think of some cognac. First of all, SMWS has a cognac out. I have the first release. Gazpacho. Did I say it wrong, Belushi? Anyway, it's good. And I think there's probably more than one recipe for it. What else was I going on about? Oh, cognacs. A friend of mine. We work together, but he also rides motorbikes. He's got his racing license. I go to the tracks, but I don't actually race. I do what they call track days. And he went to Spain for some motorcycle stuff over there for a kid, a 15-year-old kid that races. He's getting very close to being in the MotoGP. He's from Calgary, Alberta. Anyway, he also hopped over into France to Cognac. He's from Quebec. He's French, Canadian. And they got a family friend over there that makes cognac. So he has, it's similar, I guess. Oh, what's the ABV on that? It's, you know what? I'll see if I can look it up. It might be in my log. Anyway, one moment here. Let me finish this thought. He got cognac. He got 5 bottles from this guy. He said, I'm not sure if he'll let you take it on a plane, but he did. He tried it. And they let him have them on the train. Well, I don't know where they all went. He only had 1 bottle left when he got home. But it was cask strength, single barrel cognac. And if I remember what he told me is that what was on the barrel was Martel. So technically what the guy was doing was illegal. Martel is paying him to make cognac in these dirt-covered rock cave like things, whatever they call them, you walk into. And I think what I got to try was extremely rare. It was extremely good, but it was rare. Single barrel, single cask cognac, right out of a guy's den, whatever you want to call it. Very good stuff, right? Now back to what I was just asked. You are on spot. I hope I'm on spot. Do I pick up the Cordon Bleu? Cordon Bleu, that's all cognac you're still talking about? I don't know here. Left my stupid thing at work. That makes me mad. For my mouse. What type of soup are you having, George? Thanks, guys. I feel better now about saying what I did. I think some of that stuff needs to be said, and a lot of times we don't get to say it to that people's face, but you're our listeners, and we welcome you in our lives. And if you think something's wrong, maybe tell somebody, but that I thought the way they approached their opinions about it was disrespectful. Anyway. I'm glad it worked. Okay, enough quiet. I don't think I've ever tried XO Martel cognac. And what's Armagnac? What makes it different than cognac? Bourbon is cognac that's not made in cognac, right? Or not bourbon, brandy, pardon me. Glad I caught that because I look like a dodo. chicken noodle, homemade stock, and that small, tiny pasta. Doesn't matter. Name it whatever you want. It's the GK special soup.
You saw this place.
Oh, okay. Three people?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
There you go. The region, right. So Armagnac is what then? No. And I don't want to say it disrespectfully. I'll give you another example. I saw a girl in a Starbucks in Edmonton. I was sitting on the inside. I might have said this on one of my lives already. And she ordered a coffee and a muffin. She was a cute girl, so I was paying attention, you know. So I watched her. She went outside and sat on the chairs on the outside, right, basically on the window beside me. And as she opened up her pastry, she pulled it apart, and it stayed together because there was a hair in it that joined the two pieces together. So you know, Canada, we're always saying sorry, always apologizing. Don't know why. Anyway, the first thing she did when she went up to the counter is say, "I'm sorry, but there's a hair in my muffin," or whatever it was she ordered. I'm like, what are you sorry for? Now, my point is like, you don't have to go over there and you don't yell and curse and say, "What the hell? There's a hair in here, you blah, 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 blah." The person that served it to you didn't make the muffin, didn't put the hair in it. It's made somewhere else and brought to the coffee shop. But you don't have to say you're sorry either, right? So there are ways to dislike something and be respectful still. My opinion, my rant. Best dry ribs I've ever had in Saskatchewan. There's another place called Bobby's World, which is closed on Sundays. And I'm in the middle of the prairies, 3 hours from the US border. One of the best fish and chips I've ever had. I mean, the freaking fish is huge. And their steak, they don't even freeze. They get their steak from some local butcher here. Never been frozen. The guy's on par. There's a couple other Bobbies in Canada here, but they're family members, but they're not actually part of the franchise, so can't really control the food quality. Anyway, I like you guys in chat. Sometimes you come back like, "Hey, Rich, when you joke with me about being a one-up man, that's not a bad thing. I don't mind that, because sometimes you got to stop and check yourself and think, yeah, maybe I am being a little, showy off here and there for whatever reasons. Sometimes if I'm doing it with somebody like the other YouTubers, there's lots of times we're having private conversations with each other, and so we, especially in the comments, I'll throw a few things at Malton in Montreal or Rob or Bart. I mean Scott. That's an ongoing joke now. But I still totally screw up and call him Bart all the time. And the harder I try not to, the more I do it. Anyway, man, I like this place. I love, you guys probably couldn't see it. This would have been the front entrance to the house, built with a patio on now. You got a beautiful jack arch. It's called a jack arch. Right over there. It doesn't actually arch. It's got a piece of rebar underneath it. But that was really nice work. A real bricklayer craftsman built that. Mr. Manga shirt. It's Bart Big and Scott Barry. Those guys are funny, eh? 1910? You think 1910? This house? I could ask. They do have a little thing on it here. They are kind of busy and short, but I'll see if I can't get another beer and ask a question or two. 1910. It could be. I will find out. It's a nice place. Do you have people that are looking for work, and that's what they're interested in coming up here for, or what is it there, Mr. Belushi? This is a nice place. Before I leave, we'll come here with the cook. John's a little weird, but he's a nice guy. I don't really believe in ghosts, but this is a haunted house. Oh, yeah. You know what they say about curiosity, John? Curiosity killed the cat. Cheers. Hopefully I can get one more beer. Richie Z, how are you? Sorry you missed my live yesterday, Richie. And I'm ranting and raving a little bit today, but I'm feeling better now. Any one of these people can get a hold of me if they want to talk about it. They can.
Another beer for you, sir?
If you got the time, I'll have one.
I do have the time.
What year is this house built?
1905.
1905 there, Mr. Belushi. Oh, no. Curiosity is good. I mean, we have to be balanced in what we think is good, but yeah. Right on. I hope you guys like my guest. I was very happy when I got a hold of him and he said he would really like to do it. That guy got up in Iceland at 5 in the morning, right? He actually got up the day before. I got a hangout message from him saying, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Whoa, dude!" So he got 2 days in a row. He got up early. Nope. I got the time. Yep. So Santa Cruz, and what was going on at Laguna Seca? Was it just like a meet and greet type of thing for racers? I know, man. The guy's got a whack load of SMWS bottles. I have about 80 or 90. And some of them are duplicates because I know I'm going to want to drink another bottle of it. But they 150 bottles, and he lives in the Faroe Islands, right in the middle of the freaking ocean above Scotland. So they don't even get delivered there. It's a good thing that he travels lots for his work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When do the ghosts come out?
You know what? Usually in the morning, actually,
Okay.
like 8 a.m. here is creepy as all hell. I don't like being here at 8 in the morning. But like 2 in the morning in complete darkness, I'll walk through here like no problem.
You guys can look up Hopkins. What do they call it?
Hopkins Dining Parlor.
Dining Parlor on YouTube, and I'll have a video on there of the ghosts.
Yeah, or if follow us on Facebook. I did a couple live streams when I did a ghost hunt here on Good Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if anything was picked up. I haven't even made it through the footage yet.
Wow.
But yeah, I did a couple live.
It's bad spirits because they don't carry enough whiskey, not enough good scotch in here.
You made that up.
I did, yeah. Yeah. I don't mess around with that spiritual stuff, boys, but I don't really believe in ghosts. She knows the time. Yeah. Hopkins Dining Parlor. Hopkins Dining Parlor. The house was built in 1905. I'm getting updates here right now. Oh, these must be old. Only 100. John, I don't know. I don't understand why we get like days later these updates. Anyway, cheers to all you guys. with the Victorian decor and antique furniture's great prime rib seafood steak. You are a Google master, Belushi. That's cool, Santa Cruz. And now, were there racing going on? Lewis, are you afraid of ghosts? Yes, I have tried Westland, and I have a sherry expression of theirs. That's what I would have done, John. I always go and ask the oracle. I'm afraid of no ghosts. I know Dan Aykroyd was in that movie. I don't remember his friend John Belushi being in there. I miss those guys. They're hilarious. Isn't that funny? We're all enjoying ourselves. And these people that, in many different ways, have brought us Bill Murray. Yeah, but John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd are buddies too, right? All those people, celebrities, we all look on them and think that they got these great lives and everything, and they still pass away way too young, commit suicide, deal with depression, deal with everything. Eh? Really doesn't matter what so-called economic status you have in life. We are all still pretty fragile creatures. The Blues Brothers, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. They killed Nimbo. Now, how did you get a 3-pack gift set? Did you buy yourself a gift, Richard? But are you trying to one-up me because you have 3 of them and I only have 1 that I haven't opened at home? Well, I don't think it should be that short. Peter White, Harold Ramis wrote almost all of those movies. Ah, there you go. Same guy. Actually, talking about the Blues Brothers, that makes me think of. No, I'm getting her mixed up. Lois Lane, the Canadian. Was she the Canadian actress? No. Yes. Just passed away, right? From Superman. And so did, Margaret Kidder. I got this right. Margaret Kidder, Canadian. Played Lois Lane in the Superman movies. Passed away. Right. And then there's, what was the name that played Princess Leia? Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher was in the Blues Brothers, not Margaret Kidder. Kind of get the two of them mixed up sometimes. Is there a reason for that? Cokehead thoughts. Cokehead thoughts. Cokehead. I don't know. You have to explain that, Belushi. Peter White, are you a movie Belushi cheater? I don't. It's Bourbon Nights. That guy there, Chad. He does all the movie theme and stuff. Pretty funny, actually. I like him. Sure didn't like what they had to say about whiskey, though. There, I said it out loud. I got a little dried, whatever in my throat. John Candy Pressman, how you doing, buddy? John Candy who was hilarious. Although there's one made in Canada movie, you'll probably never see it, and I don't know if I could find it, where John Candy and a bunch of other guys dressed up as clowns and they broke into a house. And I don't know why, I was probably very young. And they raped the mother, this woman in the movie, while the kid they just threw him into the kitchen in this movie. From that point on, I kind of don't like guys or people dressed up as clowns, or clowns in general. Kind of creepy. Not just because of the movie, just clowns in general. Who the hell needs to wear that much makeup? Have I seen Lawless? Yeah, the Bourbon movie, you mean? Lawless? Yeah, I agree, Belushi. They don't, I don't know. I mean, you'd think you're going to run out of variety. Here's what I think about bourbon. I think it's great. I love it. But it's got more stories than a library. No, Pressman, I don't even know what that movie was called. Richard, you got that as a gift set at Total Wine. The Clown Murders. Is that the actual name of the movie, Peter White? Did you just Google that, or did you actually know it? Canadian movie with John Candy in it. I mean, it wasn't a comedy. These are awesome. I'm not freaking kidding, man. I don't know why they cut this stuff out of it. It is awesome. John Wayne Gacy. Canadian Megan. That's a pretty funny movie, actually. And a lot of us that are US and Canada, it would be funny one day to, that would be something to do. If we ever do something with the Scotch Test Dummies and they're on YouTubers all together, where we actually have that movie or the new Stupid Troopers or Super Troopers on, because that's one is another one, Canada versus US. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like it's going to be kind of funny. Great outdoors, you know. You know what, Richie? There are more variances. And I've been asked this question lots. First time I met Scott and Bart, they phoned me on one of their Patreon shows. And first question I was asked by Scott, what genre of Scotch do you like? Or what genre of whiskey? So, I mean, you know, the genre, the word genre kind of plays with me. I'm going to have to do an Eric White and look it up in etymology.com. Because when you think of genre of music, if I opened up my iTunes right now and I typed in a certain genre, I mean, who knows what you're going to get, right? Because there's so much fusion and all that other stuff. But I made this comment on their last, not today's live, but their last bourbon. Let's make bourbon Pete again. That nice video, guys, but I'm going to go have a virgin oak. So everyone will use Pete head or sherry head or whatever, but I'll tell you something. I almost buy every edition of a Scotch that I see that says it's virgin oak. To me, Scotch tastes a lot alike. Scotches taste a lot alike. Well, you know what? I don't think you're wrong. Sure they do. But that's the thing when, like, if you saw no nonsense whiskey with Aquavite, and Aquavite was trying to persuade him to try water. That's the point. Water helps open up certain things and change things. How many times have you opened a bottle and not liked it, and then, you know, go back even a day, maybe 3 days later, and try it? Yesterday, when I opened up that single malt whiskey, that it's a Lacheg from the SMWS, it's 59% alcohol. I opened it the day before because I knew that if I opened it the first day, it was going to be hard. Yeah, yesterday when I did my live stream with Rooney and Mark Whiskey Whistle, it was good. It was easier. I bet you if I went it today and a week later, it's going to be better. And that's one of the reasons I like to get stuff that's cask strength. The cask strength stuff seems to be just as the oxidization happens to it, it levels it off somehow, right? Love bourbon and rye, but peat monsters get better every time I pour it. Yeah. I don't like peat for the sake of peat, Pressman. If it's done balanced and done well that way, I like it, right? Bunnahabhain tastes like Highland Park. I'll take your word for it. I would have to compare them beside each other, but I've had lots that are similar that way, right? Pressman, love bourbon and rye, but peat monster. Yeah, I already read that one there. Yeah. Trying blind samples. I like the Deanston Virgin Oak better than the 12. Need to pick up a bottle still. And the Deanston Virgin Oak is non-age statement, right? Is there any sort of an age statement on it, George? It is. I agree with you, Richie. And I'm very thankful to Chris Breton. Helped me find a bottle in Edmonton. The amazing thing is that the store that I usually buy from, you've heard me mention it, Chateau Louis. They said, yeah, we had it in, but it never sold. Well, because I was after some of the Virgin Oak. So I went to this other place, and I got a pretty good price. And the guy gave me an extra discount because it was something else to try and find their location. They're actually in a mall downtown in a high rise. So it's a bit of a thing. And we have what is called Pedways in Edmonton. So if you went downtown into the central mall area, which they're all kind of part of a high rise building where offices are, doctors, lawyers, yada, 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 they have pedways. You never have to go outside. Once you find a parking spot, you just stay inside and you can walk from about 4 or 5 different shopping malls downtown. Anyway, I come in there a week or two before coming down here, and he's got freaking Virgin Oak sitting inside there. I was like, oh. Anyway. Yes, I have a bottle of that, and I haven't opened it up yet. The Garrick. I'm having another Bart moment with my pronunciation. The Auchentoshan Virgin Oak, lots of Virgin Oaks. My first, pardon me, guys. My first Octomore I bought because it's a Virgin Oak. I haven't opened it, right? Read it. Are you just making this stuff up, Richard? Are you just testing me? Glengarry. Thank you very much, Richie. That was a very good way to show me how to say it. Actually, you might be right, Richie. I'm a big Bruichladdich fan. And if I was Bart, I would pronounce it Bruichladdich. Just easily. But yeah, some of them do. I guess I would say that they're like Highlands. I think you know a lot more than you let on. I do. Those comments make me think, who is this guy? Oh, that is an understatement with Santa Cruzan. This beer is called Mill Street Brewery. And it's organic. It's on tap, and I do not know where it's from, although I've seen it before. I like it, actually. It's good. It's light, it's crisp. Ah, a Toronto beer in Saskatchewan. That's a lot, eh? There's actually some really good beer in Saskatchewan. Yeah, no, it's good. I like it. Actually, there's lots of good beer in every province. Toronto beer, owned by InBeverage /AB /Alberta. Is that InBeverage? Is they're like a distributor though, InBev, right? Because they carry whiskeys and so forth. This is bloody freaking good, man. I can't believe it. Yeah. So what do you guys? Oh, Anheuser-Busch. Yeah. That's a funny thing. There's lots of crafts beer places that are actually owned by big companies, right? Kona Brewing Company from Hawaii made its way to Canada. Maybe in some of the stores that sell a lot of the individual cans and whatnot, right? There might have, but I have never seen it that I would remember it, Richie. You bought a Maker's Private Stock store pick. They vary a lot based on stave combination. Looking forward to it. I tell you, some of the guys I know just went down to one ambassador or one rep, I guess, Jay, and one of the bar or liquor store owners went down to Kentucky just before the Derby, before the total chaos. And they came back and they said that they have a total different respect for Maker's Mark. It's they are extremely fussy about their barrels and about their grain, about their corn. Apparently, while they were there, a farmer brought his corn in to be purchased. Funny. We have one of the staff in here lighting the candles. I'm doing a live with a bunch of guys that I do whiskey with. So yeah, you can say hi to them all.
Hey boys.
Hey boys, there you go. You gotta watch out for those Saskatchewan girls. Anyway, they turned the guy's corn away. It had too much moisture in the corn. I don't know how they test it. Yep, she was a cutie. And they turned it away. And they asked, what's he going to do with his corn? So, oh, they'll just take it down. They'll take it down to 4 roses. They'll buy it. Just passing on what I was told, man. Mill Street was purchased by Labatt, which is itself owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev as part of a purchase agreement. Yep. And then they don't tell us, and we think we're buying Kraft's beer. No, bring her back. I don't know if she wants to be on camera with some old guy and a bunch of creepy guys on the internet, right? I'll see if she'll come back. But that would just get me in trouble with Julia. No, I'm just repeating what I was told, Pressman. Make what a regular thing. Oh no. I'm not answering this. He's a local guy. Yep. If you want to go shooting guns, he's the guy you want to hang out with. Okay, I will, Belushi. She's away enjoying herself camping and hiking right now with one of her old friends. Mill Street to be independent craft brewer and remove Mill Street from its membership. Very interesting. There's lots of that going on. When am I? Maybe next week. I have to see. I kind of want to keep the place I'm renting down here. So if I was, I'd only be back home for a few days, 4 or 5. Right? Probably go back home and mow my lawn. Good place to eat, guys. There's lots of stuff that can be fixed up around these places, but don't always let the looks fool you. What are you saying, George? Somebody thought the same thing. Juliet didn't like that. Juliet didn't like what? A girl? She's seen me with waitresses. She just doesn't, yeah. Take after my old man that way. Maybe well, not really. Dad was extremely faithful to my mother. On that note, have you ever showed you a picture of my mom? Can you see that? That was my mom right after World War II. That was the picture she sent my dad after he got out. My mom, after World War II, I think she was probably 24 years old in that picture. She passed away 5 years ago. At 88. Yeah, just being friendly. They're all wondering what I'm doing in here. I'm sitting out in a patio by myself. Well, not a patio, porch, talking to a computer. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. Happy Mom's Day. Yep. It's 5:20 on. Right on, Belushi. Man, you're quick. 5:20 on 5:20. That is right. Oh, well, could have been 4:20 on 4:20. When you posted the angelic picture of my mom. Yes, I'll show you guys. Oh, I posted it on Instagram. My mom was a good lady. First woman that ever kneed me in the crotch. No lie. I was probably 15, 16 years old, all tough and bravado and acting like, Mom, what are you going to do about it? And I, got up and knew her. She just brought her knee right up. Wow. Yep. She didn't take crap if she didn't have to. Got the Glenfarclas 14-year-old bourbon reserve, just like Oak Cross by a 43 ABV. You know what? I probably should try that. Is that a hard to get bottle, Richard? Is that a one-up bottle? That's actually hard to explain, Mr. Belushi. My mom's name was Roy. Not R-O-Y, R-O-I-E, Roy. But she went with that name because of her father. Her first name was Doreen. It's like $50, not hard to find. I'll try it out. Yeah. Never ever seen it spelled like that anywhere else. I did see that, I think so. I think I saw that, Santa Cruz. You were a little boy. I do see that, yep. All right, now what I see is your nephew getting into a car. Thomas Carlos. Do you wish to be a member of the Illuminati? It's interesting time to call. Blah, blah. What the heck is that? Who are these guys that send these things out, right? Like, what is there? Do you wish to be a member of the Illuminati? No, I don't wish to be a member of the Illuminati. Like, why are people like that anyway? Whatever. Don't get that going because if I talk to the restaurant. No, rib. No. My ribs are settling. I got a couple things. Yeah, they're settling. Actually, it was just a perfect amount. Any more than that, and they weren't dry. They were moist. They weren't out of a frozen bag. I'll tell you that right now. Grumpy. I posted a picture of my mom's on Instagram. I said that wrong. Grumpy. What? I missed that. That is very good. Here's the other one that's from Saskatchewan. It's called Original 16. So what happened there is that they were about to close the brewery down, and 16 employees put their money together and bought it. Great Western Brewery is what it's called. The Original 16, double-aged, founded by 16 underdogs. It's doing really good. Original16.com if you want to look that up there, Belushi or Richard. It's really hard to comment sometimes to follow on. You're not grumpy. Oh, you were grumpy in the picture. You didn't want to be in the picture, did you? I'm going to take a look at that now. George. Or Santa. Or S. There you are, Santa Cruz and Malt Master. There. Where is that? There it is. Yeah, you're not grumpy, but you're kind of looking down on the picture a bit, eh? Can anybody see that? That's our little buddy, Santa Cruzing right there. What are you sitting in? Hey, Scotch Test Dummies. These guys are, here's a couple guys. This is the exact same thing here. I'm going to say this out loud. It was the start of my rant, Scott. Whiskey Neighbor, who's a local guy from my area, was on and he mentioned some of the Canadian whiskeys got slammed a little bit on a couple of the YouTuber reviews or live streams yesterday. And I have no problem about people not liking it, but I'll tell you something. The way they did it, I found it very disrespectful. Not so much toward Canada and whatnot, but the way they did it. You don't like something, that's fine. Don't like it. But there is a way of saying things respectful. We'll talk about it later. I didn't like it at all. I thought, one, One group was very dramatic unnecessarily, and the other person's just needs to meet me in the back alley. We'll talk about it later. Hey, Dr. Dave Ragland. Do you have an exercise as a chiropractor that I could use? My sciatic on my left side is killing me, man. I've been doing my stretches, but jeez. I think it's because at work I have to sit on these stupid fold-up metal chairs for way too long. Yeah, you'll hear about it. I don't care what people think about a certain whiskey overall. That we're all welcome to our opinion, but the way you do it, I'm done. I'm done pretending to be nice. Those people need to be called out, and it's just about how you do it. It's inappropriate, unnecessary, whatever. Crown Noble Collection 30-year-old bourbon mash. Really liked it. What? So is that the what? Hold on a second. You must be making fun of it. So I bought a bottle of the bourbon mash, Crown Royal bourbon mash, and I can understand why somebody wouldn't like it, especially if they're bourbon fans. It's bourbon, all right, but I absolutely think that it would be terrible if you were thinking that you're going to get anything bourbon off of that at all, right? Oh, the new Noble Collection is good. Okay, I'll check it out. Oddly enough, because I'm in Canada, I hardly ever think about any Canadian whiskey in general, except for the bottle I sent you. The first stuff I sent you down, Lucky Bastards Distillery. I don't know if you saved enough of that to actually do a review, and I can't even remember what Whiskey Lassie had to say about it overall. But I don't really care for their stuff that much. I think that they're a little bit disappointing, right? Yes, and that's and when you did your review on it, man, that's exactly what I got from it. You're like, this shouldn't even have the name bourbon on it. Like, it's not bourbonish at all. It really reminded me more of the regular Lot 40. You know, they actually probably have more rye in it than would be expected. Are you? Do you really? That is awesome, man. I'm glad. I hope that I hope you guys enjoy it. I really do. You know what? I will. Dr. David Ragland, you're awesome. It's a long weekend here. I can't find a chiropractor to go to, but I usually do ART, active release technique. The only massage place I've seen in this town is a little iffy to go to. I don't think I'll be going there. I always like the barrel selects. I agree. Scott, have you recovered from your World Whiskey Day? Everything was good? You did a very good show. I enjoyed your show there. And your guest, Charles, very good. Yeah, never going to do it. Haven't done it. Not my thing, man. That's just another form of slavery. Wouldn't be interested. Crown Royal XO. That's interesting, Richard, because basically that's aged in like or has cognac added to it. I've got a couple guys been asking about it. I've never even thought about trying it. I don't think I'd buy a bottle. I'd try it, though, yeah. No, you know what? I didn't drink much either. It was just the the wife knew you were answering me. I think your wife should come in on the chats. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to try it now. I mean, I don't know how much it is down there for you. I think it's probably like $100 bottle up here. What is the name of the restaurant that I'm in? Oh, Whiskey Sneerson. It's the Hopkins Dining Parlor, right? I know that this is backwards on you. Hopkins Dining Parlor and They got some fancy name. They do have some trinkets and stuff for sale. 40 or 50 here. $50, yeah. Well, it's more than that. Hopkins Dining Parlor, yep. The house was built in 1905. The Hopkins turned it into a restaurant after they bought it in 1979. And it's haunted, as the waitress said. She doesn't like coming here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Apparently, that's when they're most active. I don't know why. Maybe they're breakfast ghosts. Yeah, and I was out freaking inspecting a giant freaking transfer line that's being installed or being assembled at this plant I'm on, and I missed your live. I thought I'd get in there in the beginning or the end, but I didn't get anything. So they do things a little bit ass backwards. Plus the guy that I'm left working with, he's a dilly-dallyer. He drives me nuts, man. This is what we're going to do. Just go and do it. I went to do something. Here's another rant. I went to do things because he was dilly-dally, and I went over there with the material and started installing it. All we have to do is take this ceramic fiber and put it around in a seal, right? But it's got to be fit right and so on, right? It's a bit tedious. I started doing it the next day. I got, oh, they're going to file a grievance because I'm quality control and I shouldn't be doing the work. Oh, these guys, I tell you. Scott was at the races and he cracked up what? That everybody knew me. Oh, that's awesome, man. I didn't read all the whole sentence there. You've been saving some peated heels. We'll have some bottle kills early in June with the SCT peat bracket ends ending to the infinity bottle, adding to the infinity bottle. You know what, George? You are. I just don't have the time to do all that type of stuff. You do an awesome job. Everybody knows Santa. It's starting to seem like that. Soon he'll have he'll be taking over the whiskey world in Santa Cruz. What, the Bigfoot out there? There's no Bigfoot out here. Not in Saskatchewan. If there was, they'd shoot it. I wear this around here just to fit in. I'm not really a big Bass Pro Shop kind of guy, but we have one Bass Pro Shop in Alberta and then several Cabela's. This Bass Pro Shop hat came from a liquor store. It's called a Yeti. I actually have a Yeti. It's a Yeti beer cooler. It's just a little tiny thing. I'll screw it in a beer can, fits right in and screw it there. I bet you I could put that in my truck all day long in the summer and get in my truck and my beer would be cold. It was actually very, very impressive. Oh, the cork fell in, so I canned it. Oh, really? Couldn't you just put another cork in? I saved quite a few corks, but the ones that I've been saving are actually the synthetic ones because nothing really can go wrong with them. And they do a fine job. So what have you been doing today, Scott? The day after World Whiskey Day. Yeah, I could eat another one of these. They're good. I had some ribs here, Scott. You missed it. I'm in a restaurant, as you probably gathered already. Oh, you couldn't get the cork out. Get a nice, clean, stiff piece of wire. Snip it. Cut it with the wire cutters, like at an angle, so that it actually has a point on it. And you stick it in that bottle and poke that thing up. Get it up higher enough that you can grab it with some needle pliers. Maybe you need to break it in half. I don't know. Yeah, I saw that, the recap. But I was working. Like I said, I missed the live. It's kind of bummed me out. I like to be on that live. Did you happen to get to see the guest that I had on at my late night slot before Food Quigs? All the way from the Faroe Islands. It was very interesting. I liked it anyway, and I think some of the guys watching did at least. 14 different. Oh man, why you couldn't pour it in another bottle, Richie? Don't act like you don't have a lot of empty bottles kicking around your place. You got a hefty collection. No problem, buddy. You're busier than a one-arm paper hanger down there. Can't believe you just didn't call Domino's. You actually cooked. Don't buy Domino's. I'm just joking. And who asked if we have a Walmart here? Of course we have Walmarts here. Not in Moose Jaw, there aren't any, but 45 minutes away, there's a Walmart. Yep. Wonder if I should own a whiskey right now. CR Mickey. I have seen you in the chats before. I don't know if I've seen you in mine, but welcome. Thanks for coming. I'm sitting in a restaurant. I got 18 viewers. Wow. I'm in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, wearing a Bass Pro hat. Little bit of ranting here. I'm done to rant. Thank you for listening. George Kaplan and Santa Cruz and Richie and Richard Blanchard. And forgetting somebody, but thank you because it helps out. Moose Jaw has a Walmart? Where? Oh, I'm downtown. I don't think I've seen a Walmart here, but I've never gone up that way. Where's a Walmart in Moose Jaw, Snarson? Do you try to keep the peated with peated and sherry with sherry? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, when you're doing an infinity bottle, I haven't done one yet. Although there is an interesting bottle, if I empty it, would make a great decanter or infinity bottle. What whiskey choices do they have there at the restaurant? The only one that I would probably try is that Kilhoman. Although they have an old tube, could be empty, of Abalor 10. Like it's a tall, skinny bottle, not a short, stout one. So if I might get that. I might even walk over there with a camera on. Right now, there's some guy in a muscle shirt flirting with the waitress. Not the one you saw, not the cute one. The other one, the boss. That must be the one in charge. You're right down to the address. So that's up. That's up the road. Oh, I got tomorrow off. Probably not. Maybe I'll just drive there and get an oil change. I am due for an oil change. No pain, no gain. What am I missing here? Made the mistake of adding Bowmore DC2 to my cast strength Sherry Infinity Pill. Didn't you love that yesterday? The one guy that disliked certain Canadian whiskey, and he poured them all into a one globe, and then he didn't like it. He didn't like the smell, and he didn't like the freaking taste, and he blamed it all on that one bottle. I think that's bullshit. Yeah, I do. I don't like some things. I don't like them, and I'm calling them out. Done. Will be closed. What? The Walmart will be closed? That's all right. I don't go to Walmart. I like your shootouts, Scott, and yeah, I don't know if I do them. I do go to lots of tasting. One of my favorite things is doing an SMWS tasting, and the guy that arranges it, we do it blind. We're not blinded totally, but we do blind. We go around and it's blind.
Are you still doing okay on here?
I am ranting and raving with people all over the place. Here, you can see them. Hi, wave.
Yeah, who am I talking to?
You're talking to guys down in the States, California,
Oh my.
Wichita.
Oh, is this on YouTube?
No, this is
What?
on. Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah, it is on YouTube. So
Hi, YouTube.
they did just ask, and this is the lady to ask, what Scotch or whiskey selections do you have over the bar?
For whiskey, we really just have like the Jack Daniels and
Do you have Scotch?
Weisers. Scotch, we got.
Hold on a second. Scotch is a whiskey.
Scotch is a whiskey.
Scotch whiskey, rye whiskey, Canadian
But
whiskey.
see, and then some people are like so different on what they actually call
Yeah,
things.
there's
And some
people
people
out
insist that Scotch whiskeys aren't really Scotches or whiskeys. And
It's called Scotch because it's made in Scotland. But it's still a whiskey. So if we walk over there, guys.
yeah, we got some McClellans.
Anybody want to see what they got?
Old Kilkenny.
You have one bottle. Hi. You're not shy, are you? They have one bottle way up in the corner. Told might be empty. It's a Abalor 10.
Oh yeah, up there, those are just the decoration
They're
ones.
just decoration.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
That bottle,
this side we
that's
have,
an
but
old
yeah,
bottle.
over on that other side, just decoration.
So let me look and see what you guys are saying, Louie. What should I should try one, shouldn't I? Man, the light is terrible in here. Everybody's commenting on stuff here. Do those shootouts. So yeah, hello, young
Johnny
lady.
Walker.
Oh, Pressman says hello, young lady.
Hi.
Pressman, he's always flirting. He flirts with everybody. No, the only thing I think, since we're talking about Scott and the Pete, I thought I saw Kilholman in here.
No, just McClellan's, Glenn Fiddick, Glenn Livet, Old Pulteney,
Yeah.
Johnny Walker Red Label.
You know what? I'll have an old Pulteney.
Okay.
Hey, Jason Whiskey Wise, and neat, please.
Neat?
Yeah, neat. Took my suspenders off. My damn pants don't want to stay up. Thought I was fat enough they'd stay up, but they don't want to. Anyway.
Isn't technology awesome? I'm liking the Canadian accent. Who, mine or hers? And what accent? We don't have an accent. You guys need to relax. No red label. Might as well have some fire whiskey or whatever the hell they call it. Cinnamon whiskey. Ugh. I'm going to finish this beer before I start that. Oh, Jesus. So here's the guy that keeps calling me here. It's not all about the ladies, Julie. What are you talking about? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't be mad at me. It's not me. They saw I'm at a restaurant and no fireball. The other guys are making comments, not me. Don't be mad. I hope you're enjoying your hiking trip. Drinking this, now I'm in trouble. Always in trouble. No fun, no fair. Well, we're just listening to me ramble. I'm in a restaurant. We're not in no dissertation. You know what? I have a bottle of dissertation coming, and it's coming right here. Yes, it better anyway. The boss said he's picking it up for me. So there. And the other guy is a whiskey neighbor that was on before me. He's got a couple bottles. Yes, we all are missing her, and you guys all know that I mentioned Julia, but I don't know what was I saying that would get me in trouble, guys. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying your trip. Check out Julia's Instagram page. She's got some phenomenal photos from the mountains. One of the reasons I picked that bottle was because it was the fullest. I don't think they sell a whole lot. Hey, Welsh. How you doing? Yeah, we're all hanging out. See, the guy's name speaks for itself. Which guy? What am I missing? Yeah. Anyway, hopefully, Julia does. She's phenomenal photography, man. I'm glad she came into the chat. I hope she's still here. Just talking about a few things. I thought I'd stop and have something to eat and have a drink. Just 1 block away from my house. Got the day off tomorrow. Yep, that's it. The guy's name speaks for itself. I think I know who you're talking about. And it does. Thank you very much, Richard. It's not about that. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but be just integrity. Be honest about it. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, I'll save that. I'm done with that part. I like it out here, guys. I tell you something, Moose Jaw, the people, it's a small town feel, but it's not really that small a town. They keep growing. I don't know if they'll stay that small, but there must be lots of places kind of like that. Yes, we are, buddy. Yeah, you do you? Yeah. Hey, I went to high school with some friends that live down there. Might have to go visit them one day. So, you're having a Glengoyne 15. How do you like it? Well, have you ever been to Canada? Water at work. Water at work. Water. I love water at work, man. Hey, I'm live, and I'm in a restaurant, and I walked over to the bar. Okay, I didn't make comments. It's all Pressman's fault. He started it, and maybe Santa Cruz in a bit, but it's not me. Okay, I just got them to bring me a whiskey. I had myself some beautiful dried ribs, right? I told you that I was going to do something live in this restaurant, and I'm here. I'm not doing it the way I was, not during the show. I do not seem like a snob. Oh, I know what you mean. Yes, condescending. Yeah, I have a buddy like that. Thank you, Luis. Thank you for sticking up for me. I love Julia. She's phenomenal. And I could say that on this live chat. And she makes me want to open up and talk. And that's all that matters anyway. Don't get me all teary-eyed in front of the guys here. Thank you, George. You and Amy are a very good example of what a couple should be like. Yep, I agree. That's not your fault, buddy. It's not anybody's fault. Julie is a good woman. She'll see. Are you still hiking, Julia? Did you put up some wonderful pictures? I've been watching them and checking them out all day long. 13 wingmen pushed them into the bar. Peter. Does Scott have any circus left? Wow. That Scott guy probably does. Probably hiding it. I think he's got a lot more than he says he does. A bus heading your way. Hey, you know what? Down the road. No, it's on the other side. There's a bus from, I can't remember what it is. I want to see. Now that I can see that this battery on this computer lasts a long time. Oh, my eyes. I'm wiping away the tears. I want to see if they'll let me do it. It's called the Little Chicago. I haven't mentioned this, and maybe you guys heard it before. They call Moose Jaw Little Chicago because George, I just looked at your name and now I'm saying it. Don't get. I gotta tell you these comments. You could really only one Muse? I'm gonna find the second one then. How much was a Muse where you are? Because they're bloody expensive here, man. I think they're getting out of hand. The little thank you. The little fanboy stuff to do with compass boxes causing maybe individual liquor stores or whatever it is to drive the price up a little more than I think it probably would go for. I haven't even had a chance to look up what's in it. $260 up here it's $340, and that's at the cheap liquor store, right? The best price I saw was $320 at Zen's, which I was just going to say, but that price would be an online price, and that would include taxes and shipping. So $340 is probably the best. And if you're going to do that 2 brewers in the next day or two, Scott, that 2 brewers, they just released their number 9. And it's supposed to be excellent. I think it falls into the line of their innovative stuff, right? So, Julia, are you still here? You've never seen a great compass box in glass boxes. $270. There, hold it. Yeah, I got two held for me too. I got two of those, and I got two of the two brewers that Scott and I are talking about. Set aside the number 9 release, and I can't remember what I read about what it was. It's an expensive one. Yeah, it is expensive. Yeah, I don't even know if you need a second one. To tell you the truth, that extravaganza, which was by no means that expensive, like I said, it was my first live, and Julia and I opened up a bottle, and it really wasn't. I have to go back to it. I think we both opened both bottles, the regular compass box and the extravaganza at the same time. I'll go back to it and see if it was actually really worth it. I think it is, Richie. Yeah, a lot of people. Some people don't. I mean, don't expect too much from it. It's a standard one that they put out. I think Azila is good. I do. Right? You talked to them. I like the way you think, man. I always ask if they've got a better price going. I do. Thank you, Peter White. It's a PX finish. And Julia does take great photos, man. So, is it the long weekend down in the States? I think it's good, Scott. I don't know if it's that much different than the regular stuff is all I was saying. But I should go back and compare the two again. You probably won't believe me, but I do miss her. Going a bit over the top. I like Compass Box. We're going a bit over. Yeah, you know what? I think that because there's more and more fans, so you have more and more demand. They hear somebody like ourselves say how great it is, and all of a sudden, that's what happens, right? That is one of my points, and I've said it last several times, is that we're writing notes and we're taking things, we're comparing, we're analyzing it down. The guest I had on last night, Rooney, he doesn't do a lot of note tasting, and he does tastings as part of what he does for work. And it's just, he says a lot of times he thinks people are just trying to find things in it that aren't in there. I think it was you, Richard. You said, you know what, your whiskey, your scotch tastes like scotch, right? I have a 40-year-old Black Bull, and Santa Cruzan, I like Black Bull. I'm impressed by Black Bull. My first master tasting was with a rep named Peter Curry. He's from Scotland, but he lives in California. So in your area, if you get a chance, you can look him up on social media. Peter Curry works for Duncan Taylor, and Duncan Taylor is who makes Black Bull. And that Black Bull is exceptional. So my first master class, I guess they want to call it, at a whiskey festival was with Peter Duncan of Duncan Taylor. And I forget who was that said this to me, but they say, try that out. Do a master class. They said, this is the guy you want to save, and you'll get a wider experience with the whiskey. And I'm very glad I listened to that. And I'm going to tell you, it was it's probably what tainted me toward a lot of other whiskeys. I mean, I still like them from a private point of view. From private bottlers' point of view, though, I tend to lean toward that because they buy that cask and they can do whatever they want to it. They're not tied up by a corporation, you know, like Diageo with Crown Royal here in Canada. I am sure that the people working there can make things that would blow our minds away, but they have to do what they're told by the corporation because they want to sell a lot of bottles. That's it. We all know that they can make cheap whiskey. right? Imagine if we had to make our own whiskey and we were really into it like we are now, the passion that all of us in this chat have. If we made our own whiskey, imagine the effort and the purpose we would put into things, right? Santa Cruz, and you're a prime example. You worked in construction for years, and you had men that worked in that industry. And I mean, you knew which guys were craftsmen and which guys were just there. And when they were done, whatever, it's good enough, or that's as good as it gets. We wouldn't do that stuff if we were making our own. We would make it, and we would make it with better products, finite products. We would search them out. Maybe we would only use what's available, but there are ways to make what is available better. I should have called this ranting after the World Whiskey Day. Why is it much easier to find Scotch and it is bourbon? Why is it much easier to find Scotch and it is bourbon? Why is it easier to find Scotch than bourbon? I don't know. It depends where you live. If you were down in the U.S., you'd be finding it everywhere.
Still doing it here?
I'm good, dear. Yep. No, I'm a slow drinker when it comes to the Scotch. This old Boone's not bad, actually. I think that it's very light, and I think maybe the bottle's been open for a while. It's very, very well oxidized. There is a little store near my work that has one Mitcher's Toasted Oak barrel rye for gift. I love that stuff. It was great, man. I agree with Scott 100%. Get it. Hey, Jay Fretless, how you doing there, bud? I know where if you know where a Black Bull 40 is, which release is it? And then one of you have seen it? $900. What release was it, Santa Cruz? I got mine up here in Canadian dollars for, I don't know, $300, give or take. No, you would not. Allocated bourbon is near impossible to find. Who are you responding to, Peter White? Myself, or why is it much easier to find Scotch and it is bourbon? Is that what you're referring to? I would pick it up. I agree. Yeah. I love the crosstalk in here. The hardest part is I love being in these chats. I think that the chats are probably one of the more fun areas to be in, right? I like this old Pooty. This is good stuff. It's simple. I like that. I could drink that all day long. Pick it up if it's still there, man. I tell you, I picked up a 12 and a 21-year-old Black Bull for good prices. That's good. They're both good. They're all good. I mean, 12, 21, 40. I mean, sometimes, how many times we've heard guys review stuff where they like the younger one versus the old one? Do I have a 21? Richie, I have a 40. Do I have a 40? Julia took all my pictures for me, the stuff that I haven't put away yet. I have them all, and that's one of the things I could do. I have Black Bull 12. I have Black Bull Kylo. What do they call the Kylo? It's the 8-year-old Black Bull, right? That's very inexpensive. Probably $50 Canadian. It's good stuff, man. It's a blend. I have a 40 though. I have a 40, and I don't have it logged yet. Let me look at the pictures Julia took to me. Yes, I know I have the 40 there. I know. I just never put it in the whiskey log yet. Thankfully, Julia took all these pictures for me. I just got this computer's funny, man. I just got a new subscriber, which I got yesterday, and I just get a notice. Eric Wade is live. Yes, well, we know that's live was yesterday. Why does it come in delayed like this? So silly. I have not had a Glenmorangie 18-year-old, but let me tell you, Richie, the Single Malt Whiskey Society has some Glenmorangies, and they are awesome. Oh, Eric Wade is live right now. Well, I guess I'll have to check them out. Or maybe I'll have to let you guys go see them. Black Bull 40. Is that what I'm being asked for right now? I am sure that Julia, here's Julia. I asked her to take pictures for me, and she took pictures, but she likes to throw herself into them. And I think she's giving me the eye in this picture because she likes that bottle. When I'm in Total Wine, I will take a picture. Yeah, take a picture, man. Cell phones are phenomenal, aren't they? Yeah, Eric Wade is going live. Well, you know what? Maybe we should finish this up and join Eric. Don't think he realizes how everybody's live. Where is my Black Bull 40 Bull Run, which Scott told me was, it's all right. Yeah. Maybe I'm just missing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I have a Black Bull 40, and it is, if I remember right, it is the second release of Black Bull 40. So if they're charging a massive amount, Santa Cruz, and it's probably because it's a newer release, because I believe they're up to 6 or 7, right? Yeah, Rob will be reviewing that very soon. He always does, Richie, because I know where he's getting that stuff. I don't know how many bottles they released. You find it easier to find Scotch than it is bottles ranging from 30 to 7 years old. Well, where do you live, Bourbon Shenanigans? Oh, you know what, guys? Don't miss his opening dance. And if you do, make him do it again. All right, guys, you know what? Black Bull 12 is awesome. I have no complaints. Whiskey with more age reminds me of Canadian whiskey. Well, maybe. I think there's a bit different process, Peter White, to Scotch single grains than there is to ours, right? We missed it already? Okay, hey, listen. Go in there and bust his chops for stepping on my toes and coming in on my show, eh? Just give him a hard time. I'm going to go in there and do it as well. Because I'm pretty close to being finished here and pay my bills and go home. Thank you very much, Richie. Appreciate all you guys coming in here. Richard Blanches, thanks for always keeping me honest. Santa Cruzan, thanks for keeping me level-headed. George Kaplan, just thanks for being a good example, man. No, thanks for your time, man. You came in to join me. It's awesome. Have a great evening. You do as well, George. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Salancha.